Today's question is a really good one. I'm really excited for it. So this question is about my business is thriving, and I want to work less, and I made over $100,000 last year. What should I do? And this person didn't want their name said, which is totally fine. You can over at practiceofthepractice.com/ask Joe. You can go submit your question either anonymously, or you can put your name in there if you want. So, first question you should ask yourself is, what should I stop doing? What should I stop doing? You don't get to six figures typically by outsourcing everything from the beginning. Usually, you wear a lot of hats. You do your bookkeeping, you answer the phones, you return emails, you update your website. You wear a lot of hats, even taking out the trash and just doing that. But, excuse me. But really over 100K, you need to look at what should I stop doing and outsource as much as you can. Your phones, your emails, your EHRs, your bookkeeping, as much of that you can outsource, the better. Because every hour that you're not doing therapy, if you're that full, you're basically paying that amount. And so if you're cleaning your office for an hour, I'd rather you do an hour of therapy and then pay someone to clean the office, because you're going to make more money off of that. Next, start thinking about, who are you turning away? Who are you turning away? Who calls and you're like, they're just not a good fit for me for one reason or another. Could you bring someone on as an associate, as a clinician, that could do that, that could see those people, to keep that money in house, keep those clients in house, to help them? Next, we want to look at replacing you with as many people as possible. And so that means clinically. So if you are the only one that's Gottman level 2 certified to help couples, we want to find someone that you can help get trained to be Gottman level 2. We want to replace you in every arena. We want to replace the phones. We want to replace the taking out the trash. We want as much as possible. Also, we need to be raising your rates. So if you're this full, it means we don't want you seeing more people. So leave the crappy insurances that pay little, they pay late. You don't like working with them. You don't have many clients on them. So leave those. We want your hourly to go up. And usually we want that to go up by at least $50 per session, if not more. If you're full, you might as well go up by $100 a session. So if you're at 190, go to 290, because you don't want more people. And so it really doesn't matter if you say no to them or they say no to you. It's a risk that you can take at this point. Now, what happens when you have other clinicians, it looks weird if you're at 290 and everyone else is at 125. They need to be up, in the 190 to 250 if you're at 290. And so what happens is everybody goes up. You end up making more money, they make more money, and you free up all that time for yourself. So one thing you can do is look at how many people you're seeing. So say you're seeing 20 people a week and you're at 190. So that would be what? Almost just under $4,000. So like $3,800 or so. So you're making $3,800 a week from your work. Now, if you divide that out by, say, 290, you're going to see that you probably need significantly fewer clients than when you're at 190. And so then okay, when people discharge or they go down to every other week, you can kind of change that up. Another thing that works really well if, say, you're doing eating disorders or anything that could have an intensive side, is to say, Joe right now is not taking new weekly clients, but what he is doing is he's taking intensive clients that for 2 weeks do an intensive with him, and then move into weekly clients. And so the cost of that is X number of dollars for these 8 sessions. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 weeks in a row. So as a couple, as someone working on their eating disorder, as a behavior specialist, as a parenting specialist, whatever your thing is, you learn a ton in 2 weeks. And so then you need fewer sessions moving forward, and we move you then into weekly sessions for a while. It's a great way to just have an influx at your new rate, of sort of a prepaid model, without it being you have to buy 10 sessions ahead of time. So it's a really great way to fill that up. I would say also, once you continue to raise your rates, fill that extra time not with more clients. I mean, once you kind of get more of those higher rate clients, fill it up with something creative, something that's going to be a stretch, a bit of a gamble. Every year, I look at, well, what's my big thing that if I do that, like, things are going to just be amazing. So early on, so 4 or 5 years ago, it was, if I can have 2 consulting clients that are paying me twice my counseling rate, that's going to be awesome. And so that year, I think I ended up averaging about 5 per week that were paying twice. So At that time, I think my rate was 150 per counseling session. And so my consulting was $300. And so $300 an hour, that was way better than 150 an hour. And then the next year it was, if I can have a handful of mastermind groups that have 6 people in it, each paying $500 a month, and we meet a couple times a month, that would be a game changer. So it did that. Then it was if I have a membership community, and then it was if I have a traditionally published book. And so right now my main focus is Thursday is the new Friday. This book that I wrote through HarperCollins, it comes out in October. It's something that I'm pushing. I'm focusing all of my kind of creative gamble um, side of things into that. So then that's my main focus. So whenever I look at my email or my time, if I have extra time, it needs to be around Thursday is the new Friday, not just dinking around in some other way. And so then you have this hyper focus on the gamble that then if you achieve it, holy cow, like you're at a different level. You are around different people. You are leveling up in a different way than if you didn't. And so I think about people like Jen Morley, who came to Killing It Camp. She was making around 30K a year. And I think she just emailed, she's making over 200 a year now. And she said that I can disclose this. And she just emailed that she wants to be on more podcasts. And so she's trying to level up. She's focusing in. People like that say, here's what I'm going to work on, and here's how I'm going to give back. Like they stand out in my mind. I know Jen because she is focusing on big things. And so when you start to level up, you got to start freeing up the time for the things that are the gambles that double, triple, quadruple your business, instead of just saying, what can help us grow by 5% or 10%? So go do it. Thanks so much for letting me into your ears and into your brain. This episode of the podcast is sponsored through pillarsofpractice.com. Pillars of Practice is our e-course that's all about starting a practice or growing a practice. In fact, in the next episode, we're going to be talking about how to select an associate or a therapist to add to your practice. So next Wednesday, come back because we're going to be talking about that leveling up into group practice a little bit. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Have an awesome day. I'll talk to you soon.